Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat.
This is Alex Harris for ESBR Boxing, and it's a pleasure today to be joined by Brad Ray. And Brad, first of all, mate, how are we?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you, mate. Keeping the head down, training hard, staying out of trouble, and yeah, mate. Looking forward to getting back in the ring, getting back in the big fight.
Of course, and the big fight is a very big fight. I mean, European title on the line, June 28th. This has just been announced against Shakan out in Ireland. How are we feeling ahead of it? What will we, what's been the reaction to the announcement?
Yeah, mate. It's been exciting for me. I've been in the gym training hard for a while now, and it's finally my time to get back on that big stage and get in the big fights. And look, mate, everyone's buzzing, everyone's happy for me, and yeah, everyone can't wait to get over to Galway and down a few Guinness by the sound of it. But yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I've been calling out for something like this for a long time now, so it's my chance to show everyone what I've been doing for the past 2.5 years.
And obviously, it's a big European title fight, but you're not the main event. And because, there is an Irish fighter in Kieran Malloy on the card, does that bother you at all? Were you expecting to be the headline of the show?
Nah, mate, it don't matter me if I've been told by a few people Kieran's going to sell that show out on his own. So yeah, it makes sense. Look, hometown show for him, bit of a homecoming. Look, mate, yeah, he deserves to top the show. Um, Maybe when I pick that European title up, we can do one in Manchester, and I can top the bill there.
For sure, yeah, no, that would be a huge event, I'm sure. And, with everything that happened, of course, last minute with Dos Santos last time pulling out of the fight, do you feel like it was fair for him to have been stripped of the title and to it now, move on to you two fight for it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's the right decision. The only thing I was worried about was that they might strip him, and then they might order Pitters to fight someone else for the title because I was a late step in and a late replacement. But Izzy and the GBM team said that was the fight that they wanted to make, they wanted to push for, and the EBU agreed. So look, I'm happy that I've finally been given my chance, and because it's been a long time coming. So yeah, look, I'm excited, and be ready to go.
Good to hear. And, you know, everybody's kind of motto, especially for fighters who are willing to fight in the away kind of corner, is, you got to accept the challenges, you got to be there when the phone rings. But in your case, you've been there when the phones rang, and it's still, not necessarily always led to you actually getting the big fights. I mean, you were meant to be fighting on the Bivol Beterbiev show, weren't you? And, has it been frustrating? You've been accepting all these challenges, but it still hasn't always been leading to the fights.
Yeah, 100%. This year has probably been one of the most testing so far, and I've had a tough 2.5 years where I've not really had a look in, and I've been fighting on the small horse shows, and I've not been able to get on a big show, big TV show, big fights, title fights, and get in there with big names, which is what I want. And I've had a few chances over the past few years where names have been mentioned, dates have been mentioned. I've agreed to them. We've started training, and it's just not come off. But yeah, this year has been especially tough. I've had a big old carrot dangled in front of me. I just had it taken away twice. But look, it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason, and I've now got a full camp ready to prepare for a European title fight. And if you would have said to me at the start of the year, you're not going to fight until end of June, but it's going to be for the European title, probably would have took it. So it is what it is. I've stayed in the gym. I kept my head straight. It would have been very easy for me to lose my head a little bit. I had a few days where I was questioning, what have I done here? What have I done to deserve this? I just couldn't seem to catch a break at all. But look, at the end of the day, everything's fell into place now, and it's all going to be worth it at the end of the day. When I pick this title up, all the letdowns, the disappointment, it's all going to be worth it. And the sacrifices I've made, you know, staying on it, staying in the gym after the disappointment and the pullouts, you know, it's going to come off for me. It's going to come off for me, and I'm confident that it's going to come off for me.
No, it's a very good mindset to have. Like I say, it could have been, very easy for you to have hung your head down and kind of be, wary of yourself and not really wanting to push the same way in which you have been. But, with your kind of small hall fights, how much do you think that's benefited you? Because after, the Denny defeat, you went and you had quite a few fights in the small hall scene and you've been able to pick up these wins. Do you think that's, just been so important for your confidence and again, your mental state?
Well, yeah, you know, the plan at first was, you know, obviously move to my new team with my new coaches. The plan at first was to have one, maybe two fights on the small hall shows, adjust to my new coach, like you say, get back to winning ways. You know, I've had 6 fights now, and that's like, it wasn't the plan at all. You know, it was, like I said, I wanted to 1 or 2 fights, and I wanted to get back in big fights. I wanted to jump straight back in there, but for whatever reasons, I've not had a look in on any of the big shows. None of the big promoters have wanted to put me on any Manchester shows or anything. I've had big fights put to me, big names. I've agreed to. I've been in camp for some of them, and they've not come off for whatever reason. So, look, I had 2 choices. It was either wait for a big fight to come up on these TV shows, and you know, I've been proving I would have been waiting a long time. I'll probably still be waiting now. You know, would have been inactive, go stale, you know what I mean, lose motivation, or I stay active on the small hall shows, you know, although the level of opposition isn't what I'm competing at. You know, I'm boxing, I'm sharpening up. I've like saying confidence is sky high. And yeah, you know, I think there's been a few comments about my level of opposition in my last few fights. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me? I can only beat who's put in front of me and who wants to fight me. So look, I've been getting the wins and been getting the wins in a manner that other fighters aren't against these boxers. So yeah, like it is what it is. But that's behind me now. Like I say, confidence is sky high, and I'm ready to get back in these big fights. I'm ready to get back on the big stage, and you know, and that's why I need to win. I need to win this fight. Like you say, June 28th, get the win, and then pushing on to bigger and better things.
Obviously, like you've touched upon, it has been a little while since we've seen you on these TV shows. Do you think that last version that was on a big TV show to now is a completely different version of Brad Roy?
Yeah, and I know that. I know that it is. It's worlds apart from the version of me that lost to Tyler Denny, and maybe that's why I haven't quite got the opportunity on the show, because I have been wrote off after the Denny fight. You know, maybe it is, and fair enough. You know, I won't blame him. It was a bad performance, but I'm absolutely head and shoulders above that version of me now, and I think this is kind of why it's a bit more frustrating for me, because I know how much better I am now, and I know I just want the chance to prove to people the level I'm at and how good I am, and you know the Pitters fight is now my chance to do that. But you know, I felt like I deserved the chance a little bit earlier than it's come. But like, it's finally come, and it's down to me now. You know, there's no point talking about it. I've got to go. I've got to go and get the job done, and I've got to go and, like you said, I've got to prove to people, anyone who's doubted me, anyone who's wrote me off, that look, I'm a new fighter now, and yeah, now's the time to go and do that.
For sure. And I suppose, like you mentioned, the small hall scene often there's a lot of fighters who don't get the same recognition as they deserve. And I suppose I don't know if you've had these conversations with fellow fighters on the kind of small hall circuits. Is there any advice that you'd give fighters who, are in a perhaps similar position to what you kind of have been in, where, you've had one big opportunity, but you've just not really been sure when the next one's going to come, but you do have this, this talent there that which needs to be shown. What advice would you give to the, the other fighters?
You've just got to stay at it, and you've just got to be persistent. And you know, for me, like, I believe that I'm good enough. I believe that I'm gonna get to that level. I believe that a chance is gonna come at some point. So it's staying in the gym, staying active. You know, when that chance comes, you've got to be ready. It might be a last minute call, a late notice replacement or something. You know, that might be you, but you need to make sure that you're ready. And that's been my mentality for the past 2 years. You know, I didn't think anyone was going to want to fight me on an 8-week camp, 10-week camp. I didn't think I was going to get that kind of notice. So I had to stay ready all year round. And look, it is tough. Like, it's hard. You've got to make a lot of sacrifices. But like, if you think you're good enough, to do it, like I believe I'm good enough to do it, and I just need that chance. I just need someone to give me a chance, and you know that's what I've been waiting for. And you know, my chance is here now. This is it, and it's down to me to grab it with both hands. You know, there's no point coming on here and talking about it and saying, "Oh, this is my big opportunity for me." You know what I mean? I've not had a shot. Well, I've got it now. I've got my shot, and you know, it's down to me to go and show people what I can do.
Definitely. And, obviously you've been chasing these big fights for such a long time, but, winning the European title with the state in which the kind of domestic scene is with huge English names in the light heavyweight division, you're going to be the guy being chased. How would you feel like that will, maybe change your mentality?
Well, good, yeah. I want a target on my back because I've not had a target on my back for a few years. You know what I mean? No one's wanted to know. I've been saying I've been on interviews, I've been on social media, and I don't know how many times I've put, I'll fight any light heavyweight there is, any domestic light heavyweight. I'll fight any of them, and you know what I mean. I've not had a look in. Phone's not rang. So I pick up that European title, and I've got something people want. Then you know I'm not such big risk, little reward. I'm big risk, big reward because there's a big title on the line. But yeah, look, big target on my back. You want my title? Come and get it. But I won't let them forget that nobody wanted to know when they didn't have anything to offer. You know what I mean? Everyone knew how much of a risky fighter I was, so they didn't want to know. But yeah, look, I want that target on my back because I want to stay active. I want to stay busy, and it's a pathway to other big titles. Then you know, if I've got that, you know, the other champions are gonna want to fight me. They want what I've got, and I want what they've got. So, look, it's my foot in the door that to get myself in a position where I haven't been for a few years. When I pick up that EBU title, like I've got a bit of weight, I've got a bit of pull. People are gonna want to come and see me then. So yeah, look, that's my bargaining chip to get back in these big fights.
For sure. And Brad, I want to do something here, but it's up to you if you want to do it. It's kind of a word association. So one word to five of your, contenders in the light heavyweight scene. Would you be up for doing that?
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah,
Go
I'll
on
have
then.
to have a little think before we answer though.
No, of course, of course. I'm not gonna, rush you for anything. But we'll start off with, your opponent, Shakan Pitters. One word.
Big.
Fair enough. And then, you're a supposed opponent before Daniel Dos Santos.
Shit house.
Okay. Ben Whittaker.
Talented.
Okay, you're doing well so far. Lewis Edmondson,
Champion.
champion.
Yeah.
Fellow Mank, Lyndon Arthur.
Jab.
Yeah, okay. And one final one, Anthony Yard.
Ooh. Don't know, but yeah, that's a tough one.
Mhm,
That is a tough one. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't know really what to make of his last performance against Linden.
mhm.
At
You're
the
not
end
a
of it,
fan?
no, yeah, I'm a fan, and it was, I felt like I was left wanting more.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I have to pass on that one.
No. You did well. You did well there. Appreciate you doing that. And we'll leave with this final question. Have you, got a good traveling fan base coming over to Ireland? What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, look, mate, the year I've had friends, family, mates book flights out to Saudi, hundreds of pounds, hotels in Saudi, tickets for the fight. They've all gone and spent the week out there because he had it booked, lost out on money, which, you know what I mean, they didn't really have to be spending. Last minute, they've booked days off work, Friday off work, travelled down to London, bought tickets for the event, got to London and the fights fell through. And you know what? If a lot of them were like, look, can't really make Galway, like forked out a lot of money this year, you know, bit skin, whatever. Or, you know, even if they just didn't want to be let down again, like I'd be completely understanding. Not a single one, mate. Every single one of my friends, my close friends, my family, mate, booking flights already, booking hotels already, when a ticket's available, and like it means the world to me, like it does, because like, it just shows they're willing to follow me anywhere, and you know the type of friends, family, supporters that I need backing me. And look, man, we're taking a fair crowd over. You know, good few are coming over, and I'm sure after a few pints of Guinness, they'll have to play dancing. So yeah, mate, look, can't wait, but it really does mean the world to me. And you know, it's down to me to return the favour by winning on the night and picking up that title and doing it in an entertaining fashion, which, you know, that's my job now. I've got to return the loyalty to them. And yeah, you know, that's why I'm putting in the work. That's why I'm training hard now, because I'm going to put on a show.
Cannot wait, Brad. Well, best of luck for the fight. You know, thank you very much. I appreciate you doing the interview and can't wait to see the traveling fans with the Guinness in their hands. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for watching as well. And yeah, nice one.